Rise Up and Run. Stories of deliverance and transformation through the power of Jesus Christ that allows people to rise up from bondage and run in freedom. I'm your host, Janice. Okay, we're going to start recording.
Okay.
And again, just keep in mind, I can cut anything out. If you have to ask a question or just ask. This isn't live or anything like that. So don't worry about that. Okay. Hey, I want to welcome you all back to another episode of Rise Up and Run. It has been a while, and I blame you. No, I'm just kidding. I blame the people that don't have time to come out and record. So if you have a Jesus story you would like to share or you know of someone that has one, please get a hold of me because I would love to have you on my podcast. So, let's see, how long have you been out of prison?
I got out February 26th.
Okay, so when this young fella got out of prison, one of our mutual friends says, you got to have him on your podcast. And I thought, a lot of people do really good when they get out of prison. I want to keep my eye on him for a minute and see if it's for real. And my guest today is Brandon Herman.
Well, hello.
Hello. I'm just tickled
Janice.
To have you at my house.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice being here. You guys got a beautiful home.
Thank you. I was telling him he can come out anytime as long as we're home because I don't want to walk in and see him watching TV on my couch. That would be weird and probably illegal somewhere.
Maybe no more felonies.
No more felonies. You've had enough of that crap. So Brandon, I met, just like all my other podcast guests, it seems, I met Brandon at Hope City. And I just am drawn to guys that get out of prison. I don't know what it is, but I just love them. And thankfully, God has given me the ability to see the hope that we all have.
Absolutely.
Even when things are dark.
God protects you at all times. It don't matter what it is. If you're going through it and you're just talking to God, he's going to listen at all times, and he's going to provide for you.
I love that.
Living proof. I've seen it happen
Well,
many times.
tell me about the living proof. As always, we start with our growing up years. What was it like for you as a kid?
When I was a young kid, I was spoiled. Me, my brother, my cousin Richard, all of us, we were spoiled. And my grandma and grandpa owned a house on Lawrence Street, and we pretty much grew up there.
Lauren?
At that place. My mom, she worked her tail off, burst cabinets, third shift. Like, when I was a kid, it was fun. That's when you could ride your bicycle up and down the road and didn't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah. So she worked third shift. So why am I thinking you were out raising heck all night long? True or false?
Well, maybe when I hit about 12, that's when it really started.
Were you unsupervised as a kid, do you think?
No.
Was it
really. It was the early 90s, and you could pretty much, families were so much different. Life was so much more relaxed.
Yeah. Wasn't it? And so, was mom and dad in the house together?
Nah, my dad, man, I can't remember. I think I was like 11 years old when he died.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I never really got to meet him.
So he wasn't
much growing up. Yeah.
involved with you before that either?
My uncles pretty much raised me.
Oh, yeah?
And my grandparents. It was fun.
It sounds like your face just lit up talking about that. So
yeah, because when I was younger, my family was big into hunting. So now that I'm older and I think about the life choices that I've made, like if I would have just kind of followed along with my family's routine when I was younger, life would have been a lot simpler for me. Because I grew up like pheasant hunting, duck hunting, deer hunting, coon hunting late at night from like 9 o'clock at night when it got dark till 5:30 in the morning. Running.
Typical Iowa kid.
Yeah, it was real good.
So was there any kind of addiction in your youth, like on part of family members, or any violence towards you? Or
I mean, no violence at all towards me. But, I mean, I come from a rough batch. We can say that.
Tell me more. How rough?
I mean, everybody knows my brother.
Todd?
Yeah. So,
AKA Toad?
Yeah, so they know how he is, so.
Is he older or younger than you?
He's older than me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he kind of set the stage.
Yeah. he was just growing up with my brother was real cool. He listened to all that hard Metallica music and stuff like that, and he drove all kinds of fast cars, and he just wanted to have fun like me.
So you both became rascals then, right?
Yeah.
Did he kind of lead you along the rascally path, or who started?
Not really. I mean, everybody smoked pot back then, you know? Like when I was younger, it was just, everybody smoked pot and hung out, drank beer all the time. So I just grew up in a lifestyle that I guess that's what we did. Drink beer, get drunk all the time, and smoke pot. Like I wasn't really into no hard drugs until I got a little later in life, you know, and I learned some different ways.
So when you were saying we smoked pot and got drunk, age range there was what?
I probably started smoking pot and getting drunk when I was like 10 years old.
10?
Yeah.
And who turned you onto that?
Just the neighborhood.
The neighborhood?
Yeah. You know,
Where were you raised? What street?
I grew up in Evansdale.
Okay.
Like all the way from probably, we'll just say the train tracks on 20 that's coming that way towards like Bunger School, that whole little neighborhood over there.
Okay. Evansdale is like a little suburb, so to speak, of Waterloo.
Yeah.
In case someone's not familiar.
I grew up on Norma and Lawrence Street, both. My mom lived on Norma, and I lived on Lawrence.
You didn't live with your mom?
Yeah, I did when I was younger, but my mom worked all the time, so I'd be in between my mom and my grandma's house all the time.
Gotcha.
And then, like, if I went hunting with my uncles, I'd be at my grandma's house on Lawrence Street.
Yeah.
But,
okay. So you had a nice little support system.
Yeah.
And it was a good upbringing, it sounds like.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So when did trouble come a knocking?
Let's see. First thing I can ever remember was that me and Corky Wright, when we were younger. Oh, I shouldn't have said his name. But so, anyways, me and this dude, we was going to Devonshire School.
Now that was back then for the behavioral disorders.
Yeah, because I didn't want to go to school, so they tried to put me in that school to make me go to school. And that school was really strict, but if you got there and you just didn't feel like going to school, you could just walk off, and they couldn't do nothing to stop you back then. Like, there'd be a cop there right there, and you could just walk off, and it didn't matter how old you was. I think I was like 12. Yeah, I think I was 12. Me and dude, we left there, and we walked all the way out by the mall. And Devonshire's pretty far over off 4th, you know. And we got out there, and we was just messing around at the mall, and it started getting late. Well, it was starting to get dark, so we went to that Rydell or whatever, that Ford.
Okay.
Over
Car
there.
lot, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Oh, no.
And we found a car with some keys in it.
I was going to say, I can see what's coming.
Yeah, we found a car with some keys in it, and we took it. And we made it home, but before we made it home, the police got behind us. Dude was driving. He didn't have the lights on. They pulled us over and got us for a stolen car.
Was that like theft first?
I can't remember, so long ago.
Yeah.
I'm old, you know. So
No, I'm old.
30 years ago. That was my first run-in with trouble. But then after that, just going to school and meeting people and learning drugs. It was just like that.
What do you think of like putting all the behavioral, what do you call them? BD, I think they call them behavioral disorder, at one school? Is that a good idea where you can just kind of like build each other up in that regard? But I don't know.
Well, I mean, you look at it like that, but the federal prison system's the same way.
True.
Because the federal prison system, you got people from all over the country, all over the world, everything in this federal prison system doing 10 years minimum, you know what I mean, to life sentences and all different kind of crimes. It's like criminal 101 in there. Everybody's teaching you every kind of crime you could ever imagine in your life.
Right. But at the same time, you can't put, I don't want to say normal people, but non-criminal people there to rub off on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to, okay, so what were the consequences of stealing that car then?
I had to do some community service, and I had to do some probation as a juvenile. I didn't really go to that place out there where the detention center and stuff like that.
So then continue on with your story.
All right. So then a couple years go by. I'm just chilling at the house. I'm not doing nothing. I'm learning to smoke weed, hanging out with people, drinking beer all the time. The dude's on my street. Well, somehow or another, somebody brings some meth into the picture. I think I'm like 15 years old, maybe 14 or 15 years old. And I'm like selling weed, you know, and I'm doing my little thing, trying to make $1 here or there. One thing led to another. I learned how to cook it because I can make more money if I cook it. So I start cooking meth. I'm like, I don't know, 15 years old, I think. Yeah, I think I was 15.
Where were you doing it?
All over town, anywhere I could do it.
Like at people's houses, or do you
Back-
find an abandoned building?
Well,
or
back then you could just go into a gas station, right? And they sold the pills right there on the counter. I think they were like $9.99 for like a 96 count or something like that. 60 milligram ephedrine pills. I'd buy like 10 or 15 bottles of them. And then I would
So you're the reason now we have to have IDs to go buy Sudafed.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, so yeah, so you started making meth at like
But-
15.
It just wasn't. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. So I got back with my best friend, Gary, and I'm kicking it with him all the time. Like, we're living. Okay, so you know where Hoochie's Bar is in Evansdale?
No.
Okay, it's on Central.
Okay.
All right. Right across from Hoochie's used to be this old funeral home. And Gary's mom had rented an apartment there because they turned it into an apartment building.
Okay.
So she was renting it, and she went to prison. But it's Gary, his little brother, his other little brother who's dead now. Let's see. Me, Gary, Jim, Nick, Kurt, and Rain. 6 of us living there. But me and Gary are the oldest. We're like 15 years old.
Wow.
We're trying to raise these kids up. Right. We got to do something because he don't want to lose them to the state.
Right.
As his little brothers and sisters, we're both pretty much grown adults. We dropped out of school already. We work a job roofing, helping different people. I was working with my Uncle Randy, doing roofs. We would party every day. I mean, we would drink like maybe a fifth of Yukon Jack, and then a Texas fifth of Black Velvet and Sevens every day. Maybe a case of beer. I'm talking so drunk every day, it's ridiculous. But anyways, we're living there at that funeral home, and we're doing roofs. The landlord is this dude that had known my grandpa my whole life, right? I remember when he bought that place, he asked me and my grandpa to help him renovate it. As soon as he renovated it, I don't know if you remember this, Bob might remember this, but years ago in Evansdale, a little boy had been missing, right? And the little boy lived at that apartment. And then behind that apartment building was Jewett School. I don't know if you ever heard of Jewett School.
Mm-hmm, I have.
Okay, that's where I went to school at, Jewett School. And then I went to Western Intermediate, and then to Devonshire, and then I dropped out. But anyways, the little boy was going over there to Jewett, and some reason this dude called an Amber Alert, said that his son was missing. Well, they found the little boy. The dad freaked out, shot him in the head with a pellet gun, and killed him.
The little boy?
Yeah, stuffed him in a cooler and put him downstairs, and then reported him missing. So they searched Evansdale, and then they went back there and searched the apartment. And when they searched the apartment, they found the boy and took the dad. I think he got a life sentence out of it. I think this was like in 90 something, like 92 or 3 or something like that. But anyways, so me and Gary was living in that apartment. So one night, dude comes over. We're all getting drunk and we get in a bad fight. I think at this time I'm 16. I'm cooking some meth. I'm cooking some meth and just slowly dabbling in it, getting high all the time, nothing to do, working. But anyways, this dude comes over. We get into a bad fight with him. Me, Gary, Jason, and Jim. 5 of us. Get in a fight with this dude. 2 of us work him over real bad. We beat him up real bad, the landlord. So he goes home, and we're standing there talking about it, right? And so this would be the living room coming in right here, and right here's a window, and right here's a window. And there's a chair right here. And right there's the TV and a Nintendo system. So I reach up and I turn it on. As I'm sitting down, I sit down and he shoots through the window with a shotgun right here. Like right as I move my head, he shot. If he would have been 1 second earlier, he'd have blown my head off.
Wow.
Right? And he shot my buddy Jason in the back with some like BBs and stuff. Let's see, Jason, my other buddy Jason got some too. But the little kids were in the house, and it was like, it's scary when you got them little kids in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Gary runs in there and gets his little brother and sister and tries to put them out the window. And Jim called the cops. But after that, Gary moved away. And that's when my life really made a drastic change in life.
Like for the worse?
Well, yeah, because I started shooting meth real bad because he moved to Des Moines to get out of here. Like today, I'm proud of him. He's never been in trouble in his whole life. He had a little son that was 12 that passed away. He's got some kids that he's raised up. He's a way good father. Like, he is a decent human being. Worked his whole life. I'm real proud of him, you know. So anyways, now I'm 16, and my mom had given me this little car, a Ford Aspire or whatever, and I'm going everywhere. I'm going out. Every little town around here, I'm going there. I'm stealing anhydrous ammonia, cooking meth, shooting it, getting high every night. I'm going to casinos like Tama, Dubuque, Des Moines, all the time, constantly. So I meet this dude. He passed away now. He was like a dad to me. He was one of my best friends. His name is Mark, right? So Mark tells me that he works through Lederman Bell Bonds, remodeling their offices. That's what he does for work, right? And he's like, you don't work? And I'm like, no. He's like, you should hang out with me and you can work with me. I think what had happened was I was somewhere selling him some meth and I met him, right? So I think it over and I get a hold of him. He's living in Evansdale at the time. I get a hold of him. I go to work with him, and for like, I don't know, the first 4 or 5 months, we're just smoking meth, smoking crack, smoking weed, drinking, partying, doing whatever we could, working. We'd go out of town to work. And about 6 months later, he says to me, he knows somebody. He's got to go visit somebody on the border of Mexico. A buddy of his, right? His family member. And he asked me if I wanted to go. Why not? So we take off and we go to Mexico. And we meet these people. And I think we bring back, like, I don't know what it was, like 40 or 50 pounds of weed, maybe like 2 keys of cocaine or something. So,
I'm sorry. I just had to address this text real quick.
you're okay.
We never agreed to that.
Janice. Keep them in check.
It's real estate.
Oh,
Okay,
I
go ahead.
agree.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so you went to the back up. Let me catch up.
So at that point, I'm 16. I go to Mexico. I meet some people. I get some weed. I get some cocaine, and I come back. I start selling a little bit of weed, selling a little bit of cocaine, partying really hard all the time. Every night was a party. And I meet my daughter's mom, Brandy. We get together. We're together for a couple months. She tells me she's pregnant. Life was just, it was different. I guess I didn't want to settle down. I just wanted to party, you know?
Was there any part of you that was like, I don't like this. This doesn't feel good. Or were you just totally enamored with crazy?
I loved it.
Yeah. So you didn't really see any need to change.
No.
So
absolutely not.
Kind of. So you met your baby's mom.
Yeah, my kid's mom.
Yeah.
Natasha's mom, Brandy. She got pregnant. Her dad got mad at me. Some things happened. I cheated on her with her best friend. I shouldn't have. And we ended up splitting up. That's how that happened.
Okay.
It's It's funny because
Well,
I did that a lot.
Yeah, so you're leading a life of drugs, women, alcohol, right?
Yeah.
That's it. So when did you start getting in some trouble with the law?
When I turned 19, I guess you can't do drugs forever and think you're going to keep up and sell drugs forever and things like that. It don't work like that.
Do you think you are, though? I mean, when you're in the middle of it, do you think...
People do, yeah.
Did
yeah,
you?
do. I did.
Yeah. So what...
I did. I just grew out of that phase. Like, so one time, all right, so I was getting drugs, right? And then one time we left. And when we left, we got pulled over in Oklahoma City by the drug task force.
Okay.
And luckily we was heading that way, because if they would have waited and pulled us over on the way back, we would have been smoked. We would have definitely got a life sentence.
And what'd you get charged with?
They didn't charge us with nothing. What happened was we was on our way there to pick up.
Oh.
So we turned around and came back.
Okay.
Instead of going. And then after that point, it was like, no, it ain't worth it, because we're going to end up getting a life sentence if we keep doing that and get caught with that amount of weight. We're going to be in big trouble. So, like, things had changed. I just wanted to party all the time. I had been at a party one night, stole some shotguns out this house. After we had gotten in a fight with these dudes, I took these shotguns and left and got caught for it. They gave me second-degree theft. That was my first felony. Went to the halfway house on it, took off on the run. That was my second felony. Ran right out the front doors. Matter of fact, the person that was there, when I took off out the front doors, I told them to move me sales. They wouldn't move me sales, so I left. And it was Carrie, my PO that I had here.
Oh, she was at the desk then?
Yeah. So all these years later, when I meet her after I come out the feds, she's like, "What makes me think that you really are going to change, Brandon? Like for real? Like, this has been your life, your whole life. You've been in and out of prisons, run. You don't ever check in with your PO. You don't ever do nothing. Like, you're never not going to get it right." So,
do you think that's a valid question?
Yeah, absolutely, It was.
I mean, because I don't know at what point, when you got in your head that I'm doing things different now, that can click in your head, but everybody else wants to see it.
Yeah.
Hey, take your microphone and just aim it down a little bit, like towards your mouth more.
Better.
Take your hand off of it.
Better.
Yes, I think so. Okay. So that's a valid question then. Okay, so that, like I said, so then you went to the facility, you ran.
Yeah.
And?
I took off on the run, started cooking a lot of meth. I was on the run for like 9 months, but in between that time, I had made some payroll checks so that I could just, I don't know.
So you made them, counterfeit?
Yeah, counterfeited them.
I didn't know if you meant...
I cashed like 7 or 8 of them for like, I don't know, $3,000 a piece or something like that. Back then, you could cash them for that. I just ran around, so they caught me for them checks and gave me forgeries. They sent me to state prison. I went to state prison on a 90-day shock and got out.
So 90-day shock is when they go to prison. A person goes to prison for 90 days to kind of like shock them, right?
Yeah.
And then they bring them back out on a reconsideration and put them on probation again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Janice Hewitt, or Janice Wren. Janice Wren was my PO.
Yeah. We were not going to say names.
They let me out that day, and on a Friday, and as soon as I got out, I went and partied. Monday, when I had to actually see her, I went in there. I dropped dirty for a couple different drugs. She arrested me. I went right back to prison. I went back.
Can I just jump in? What are you thinking? I mean, did that shock do any good? Did the shock ever make you think, geez, this isn't the kind of life I don't want to be in prison? Or were you just like, oh, this is just a pause in the party?
I wish that I would have went to federal prison before I went to state prison.
Why is that?
Because state prison's a cakewalk.
Yeah. So,
there's nothing, it's hard to explain. State prison, they get TVs, they get all kinds of good commissary, they get all-day yards, they get to do all this stuff. Federal prison, there's no TV in your cell. You're in an area with 120 men, the size of a triangle, probably, I don't know, 100 by 100 by 75 triangle. 120 men, TVs are out on the tier all day long, like maybe 1 hour of yard a day. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get away from noise and nothing.
Yeah.
State prison is quiet all the time because everybody's in their cells with their feet up watching TV. You know what I mean?
So you didn't make it very long on straight probation.
No.
And then what? Then you went back to prison?
I went to prison for like, I don't know, I think it was 2.5 years. I went to Fort Dodge, Iowa. I was there for 2.5 years. I got out, went back to the facility, was in the facility for like 4 months, I think. Got out of the facility, started partying instantly. Let's see, this was in like 2008. I got out. Yeah. So I started partying. I met a chick. I got married. It didn't last long because all I wanted to do was party.
Yeah.
She wanted to settle down and I wanted to party. That's all I wanted to do. Hang out with my brother, go to some rallies with him, just do drugs and meet women and party. That's all I
And
wanted
you
to
thought
do.
that was the life. Like, you liked it.
Yeah, it was the life. Yeah.
Okay, so keep
You
going.
can't, I mean, you can't lie because,
Well, no, I don't want you to lie. Else,
like,
what would the point be?
okay, so it's just a different type of freedom. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When you're out there partying with people, you know, there might be 100 people there, 200 people there, and you're all just partying and having a good time. I mean, fights happen. You see a lot of fights and fights break out, but not like that. Everybody's there just to enjoy life. So when you're just living free, you don't worry about nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I worked at LRT Fabrication in Evansdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked there for a lot of years for Tom Bartholomew.
So,
Danny
so
Bartholomew.
keep going then. So you back on the party scene.
Yep. So I got married. That lasted, I think, maybe like 6 months or something like that. I started doing drugs again is what happened. I started doing meth. Started shooting meth. Going to bars, fighting in bars, hanging out. I was driving coming from Evansdale, and I was drunk coming off the highway. And when it comes up to River Forest Road in Central right there, I slid through an intersection, almost T-boned a cop in the snow, so I backed up and burned off. He chased me down, got me for OWI. I went back to prison for 3 more years after that. For an
So
OWI.
just in and out of prison for you, huh?
Yeah, and that's what my grandpa died when I was in prison that time. It was in 2012 maybe.
So when did you do your big sentence?
I got arrested December 18th of 2015.
And meth again?
Yeah, meth. But, like, everybody always asks me all the time. Like, everybody's curious of why I changed and the things like that in life. And to be honest with you, like, I turned down all their treatments and everything, Janice. But there is a point in your life when you just say, you know what? I want better. I don't want that no more. I want better. Because someday somebody's counting on me and I can't be there. I want better so I can be there. Mm-hmm. You know?
Well, so you went to prison in 2015.
Yeah, so what had happened was like in 2014, because everybody wants to know what I got arrested for. So in 2014, apparently this chick has sold an undercover agent a half a pound of meth 3 times in a row, a federal DEA agent. I didn't know nothing about it. I was doing good. I was living with one of my exes over behind West High in Waterloo. She sent me a message and asked me if I wanted to look at a gun. I was like, no, not really. I'm a felon. You know what I mean? She's like, I got this 357, blah, 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 blah. It's hot. I don't want much for it, but I need the money really bad. Can you help me out? I'm like, no, what do you want for it? She's like, I want a teener of meth. 1.75 grams of meth. All right.
What is that called?
A teener. They call it a teener. It's
Teener?
a half a 8 ball. A teener. Yeah. It's just weird.
Well, no, I just
Drug
thought being in
language,
corrections
you
as
know what I
long as
mean?
I was, I would have thought I would understand all that. But go ahead.
So I say, look, I don't sell no drugs. I really don't want the gun, but I'll ask around for you. That's what I said. I'll ask around for you. Her phone was under federal tap or whatever. So when she sent me the message, it automatically recorded it. Mm-hmm. They gave me conspiracy to distribute methamphetamines. The federal agents did. Mm-hmm. They gave me a 130-month sentence with 60 months probation.
130 months? That's 10 years and some change, almost
10 years,
11
10
years.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, when she said that, all I said was, I'll ask around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't charge me with a gun because they couldn't. I never even picked the gun up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what led them to start it. They said that it was conspiracy for me by trading for a gun. I'm a felon. Now, you're the federal government. It's your job to get the guns off the streets if they're illegal. So why wouldn't you have set it up for me to go grab that gun so you have that gun if you knew that there was going to be a stolen gun sold?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, but anyways, I pled guilty because I wasn't going to tell on nobody. Like, I didn't take none of their deals, none of that stuff. You know what I mean? I went in there. My attorney says, look, that's what they want to give you. You can plead guilty. So I pled guilty in open court. They gave me 130 months. But prior to that, right, I think about this a lot. What had happened was I was really messed up in life on drugs. I was living on the west side with one of my other exes, right? And I just couldn't take life no more. And I did have a gun at that time, you know, and I was thinking about biting the bullet. My life was just so messed up, I couldn't take it. I was strung out on meth. I couldn't get together. I couldn't get a job. Everything was just downhill at all times.
So that cool, you know, when I asked you before if you ever thought there was a better way to live, and you're like, no, I was happy.
At that point, I was
didn't
happy
happen.
in life, you know?
Yeah, that didn't continue.
Yeah. So I was thinking I really need to change something. So I remember one night I was just all emotional and I was praying like crazy. And I just kept saying to God, like, listen, I can go to state prison and do some years in prison. Why don't you just put me in prison for a couple of years? I'll get clean. I'll give my life back to you. I'll do whatever I got to take. Just please get me there. Well, as you know, he answered my prayers.
In a different way.
He gave me 10 years, 10 months. But hey, let me tell you, sometimes it doesn't matter the time frame of a person.
Yeah.
It takes people a really, really long time to work on themselves.
Absolutely.
When you really directly want to put in the hard work and say, you know what, something about me I don't like, I want to change myself to what I think me as a man will like as well as everybody around me.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a really long time, especially if your mind has been trained for a really long time to get high, do drugs,
Right.
Drink alcohol,
Yeah.
sleep with different women, do everything in your life that you shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
You trained your mind to do that.
Absolutely.
You know, so I got arrested December 18th, 2015. That day, I went to prison. I went to Linn County Jail. I walked in, I grabbed the Bible, and I started reading it right there.
Let me jump back. Prior to that, did you have any kind of a relationship with God prior to all of that? Or were you just, doing the jailhouse situation?
So when I was a kid, I used to go to Sunday school a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There were some people that lived next door to me, the Dressels. Larry's still there. Rosemary's not. Their sons ain't. But her daughter and old man Larry's daughter, she goes to Hope City and Cedar Falls.
Oh, wow.
Her and her husband. And her daughter goes to High Street with us. But anyways, they used to take me when I was a youngster to that church up there on the hill in Elka Run, across from Casey's.
Okay.
And I used to go to Sunday school and stuff. So I knew all about God when I was a kid. Like my grandma, she wasn't one of them type of people to go to church. But my grandma used to tell me all the time about praying, everything. Like my grandma was my number one. My grandma was a really awesome lady. And yesterday was her birthday.
I saw that on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
can I just chime in and say, as neighbors or grandmas, you just never know the impact. You remembered God as an adult in trouble after years of drug abuse. You still were familiar with who God was, and you knew where to go when you needed him.
yeah.
That's cool. God bless the Dressels and the other neighbors that take the snotty-nosed neighbor kids to church with them, because it can be life-changing.
It's crazy because when you do drugs and stuff and you party a really long time, once you give your life back to God, I promise you, you're going to start remembering things from when you was a youngster, things that were good in your life that you want to be like that type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I say it. But yeah, the Dressels are really cool.
So you went to prison in 2015.
Yep.
And you heard the judge say 130 months in prison, 10 years, almost 11 years in prison.
Yeah.
What is your thought? I mean, you're going to be a decade older when you get out. You're going to miss from 33 to 43.
Only thing I could think, Janice, was my hair is probably still not going to grow back in them 10 years.
What? What are you talking about?
I was bald when I went then. Like
that was your first thought?
My life was just crashing. Like, so I called my mom one day, and my grandma says, "Hey, I talked to your attorney, and they said they're going to give you 40 years." I said, 40 years? I said, 40 years? I said, you're lying. And my grandma goes, no, they want to try to give you 40 years because you've got so many felonies, blah, 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 right? And at that point, I remember thinking in my life, like, ain't no way I'm going to do 40 years in prison.
What do you mean? They will if they tell you to.
Ain't no way I would have spent the rest of my life in prison. I'm not going to go live the rest of my life in some prison cell. I'm not doing that.
So then begs this question, because I know people that listen, they're like, then why do you keep doing it? You know,
Absolutely.
People are like, I don't want to go to prison. Okay, then stop.
I would have never guessed that would have been the thing that sent me to prison.
But see, so the idea of punishment didn't really faze you. You still were going for it.
Yeah.
That's just like, what do you think is going to happen?
When I got them 10 years, honestly, my first thought was that I'm so grateful. I'm just grateful. Like, God looked out for me. How could I, any other way I could explain it? Because their first plea bargain was 188 months. That's 15 years, 8 months. And I remember thinking, man, that's a lot of time. 15 years, 8 months is a lot of time. So if I have to do it, I want to get it started to get it over with.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not taking that plea bargain. So I turned it down. They sent another one for 188 months to 220 months. So
That's worse.
Yeah, so I turned that down, and my attorney said, man, you keep turning down these plea bargains. I said, look, I seen the thing. All they have on me was a teener of meth. That's the lowest weight they could possibly ever have. Like, for real, I shouldn't even have been arrested for that amount. That is something this much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm going to plead guilty. And I went in front of the judge and pled guilty. And then when I went in front of Linda Reed, she talked crazy to me. Like, she told me all about myself, and she was mad that I had driving while suspended. Just the littlest things they nitpick about. But she was like, you know what, Mr. Herman? She was like, you owned up to it. You didn't duck it at all. I'm going to give you 130 months. And I'll give you 60 months probation. And I look at my attorney, I'm like, they still got their 188 months out of me. Because I had to do 130 months in prison in 60 months. That's 180 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back that day and I just prayed. And I started reading my Bible, and I started thinking, well, like, I hear a lot of things about federal prison, but I'm going to do my time my way. I want to change my way. I want to change as who I am as a person. So when I got to prison, I started falling into the wrong crowds right away at Leavenworth, USB Leavenworth.
Why were you in Leavenworth?
They send people to
Send you wherever?
They send people to anywhere they can find a bed open, you're going.
Okay.
So I went to Leavenworth, was drinking, hanging out, doing things, prisons, life. You see a lot of stuff, fights and stuff like that. But I kept reading.
I got to ask a question. You were drinking in prison? How does that get in there?
You make it.
You make it.
I'm professional.
You're a professional. Okay. Well, that's good. So you still hadn't learned your lesson.
I will never make it again, but I'm just saying that it's really easy to make. All it takes is some fruit.
No, don't tell anybody.
Okay,
Just
fine.
keep that to yourself.
All right. But anyways, they drink all the time in there. They do every kind of drug you can imagine is in there.
And how do they get that?
The guards bring in drugs.
Do they?
People bring it in through the visiting room.
That just chaps my hide that the
Yeah.
guards would do that. Shame on them. Don't try to, I can tell by the look in your face you're trying to justify it.
No, I'm not, but you find a lot of crooked people in there.
Yeah.
As far as staff members, because for simple fact is that you're around people all the time that are doing 5, 6, 7, 10 life sentences. They got nothing to lose in life. They're never going home.
So when did you get serious about God?
Right away.
No, you didn't. Because you said I was drinking, I was doing drugs.
I was in Leavenworth, and I was getting shit from there, going to Greenville, and I remember I had a cellie, and we started talking about God one day, and I was like, you know what, man? I was like, that's really how I want to live my life, is with God. And he was like, a lot of people say that, but nobody wants to pick up the Bible and put in the hard work. He's like, since we've been cellies, I've been hearing you talk about everything that's happened to you. You feel like it's just in your face all the time. You got to learn to let go and trust God. So if that's the life you want, dig into it. Change your morals, change everything about you. So I started requesting self-help books all the time. Like I'd go down to the chaplain and go in there and be like, hey, let me get some self-help books on morals, everything. Like, because you learn a whole different set of lifestyle morals when you're in the streets drinking and drugging than you do growing up in a home where everything is peaches and cream,
right.
Dinner's on the table every night at 5:30, So I started teaching myself about the way I conduct myself, not being rude all the time to people, because anybody could be going through the same things I'm going through on a daily basis. And I go through a lot still, I've been a drug addict my whole life. I'm only out of jail 6 months. Life has stresses still, because from not having to pay bills to having to pay bills, making time. I work a lot of hours, just everything gets on your back. But I learned that it's okay for me to accept it. If I talk to God about my problems, he will provide for me. I'm blessed. I can't complain. I got really serious with God. Every day I'd go to a Bible study in there. There'd be different people in their cells. They have Bible studies. You just show up, there might be 5 or 6 guys in the cell just reading the word and talking about their opinions. I like to get a lot of people's opinions on the word, because I think everybody sees the Bible from a different perspective. Your perspective might be a lot different than mine. We might read the same words, but we might comprehend it totally different.
Or get different things
Absolutely,
out of it. Yeah, that's good.
Because there's a lot of things I don't understand about the Bible, but I read it every day.
Same, yeah.
So I remember I went to Greenville, got in some trouble in Greenville. Some sex offenders got beat up on the range. They shipped a whole bunch of us. I went from there to Victorville, California. Victorville to Lee County. When I was in USP Lee County, I met a dude named Danny Munoz. Danny's one of the best guys I've ever met in my life. He's a very violent, vicious guy. He was Pablo Escobar's hitman. He's got 10 life sentences. The first day I got there, I said to my cellie, I said, hey man, I'm on Christian time. I said, I need to meet some good Christians. He says, all right.
I'm on Christian time?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
There's just different. When you go to federal prison, you're running with either the white boys, a white gang, a black independent car, black gangs, or Mexican independent car or Mexican gang. It's just different type of time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they know they have their own rules that they each associate. It's a long story.
Yeah.
Federal prisons are really trip.
So, but when you said Christian time, tell me more.
So, I mean, I'm white independent, so I ride with the white independents, but at the same time, I'm a Christian. So I'm not trying to get in none of the bull crap. Like, you're putting in work, you're doing all that, which it don't matter if you're on Christian time or not, you're putting in some work. Putting in work means somebody comes in that's a sex offender. Let's say he's a sex offender, right? He's out of there. You're either going to stab him or beat him with locks right away. Rat, somebody who checked it.
Christians do that?
No, Christians don't have to do that. That's what I'm saying. That the Christians have their own way of doing things. But the white independent cars and stuff like that, like sex offenders, the Christians ain't going to smash no sex offender, but they're not going to say nothing about him getting smashed.
That makes me sad on a lot of levels.
I mean,
I don't think I wanted to know
you
that.
got to understand that prison breeds violence.
It does.
Like, I seen so many stabbings. I seen so many people get killed. Like, prison is a whole different. It's hard to explain.
So 10 years.
The prisons are so vicious.
It's horrible. It's unfortunate that there even has to be a thing like that.
So probably my second year in, I got so serious about God that's all I did. That's all I did. Like, I went to church. I went volunteered at the church. I done everything I could. Like, I'd served at the church.
Was that Danny your mentor then? Was he a Christian then too?
Yeah. So when I got to Lee County, I met him. And every night he has Bible study in his cell. And he sends out all over, like, these different types of workbooks for the Bible. Like, he'll have 10 of us in there, and he'll buy them and then hand them all out, and we'll do the whole workbook together.
Wow.
For everything in the Bible, you can imagine. He spends a lot of his time in there crocheting bears and sending them to the children's hospital. That's all he does.
Wow.
Like, he sends like 50 or 60 a month. It's cool. But anyways, he taught me a lot about the Bible. And I was there for 3 years. I left there. I went to Forest City, Arkansas it's a FCI. My custody dropped. I went there for like 6 months and then came home.
I'm still trying to fathom the 10 years. Did that make you, like, when the doors closed behind you, what does that feel like? Is there any kind of a panic or like what have I done, or I'm terrified? What did you think? What does that feel like when you know 10 years? That is a long time.
You don't understand how fast time moves until you're watching the time all the time.
It moves fast or slow?
Fast. Like, you wouldn't believe it. Like, 6 months goes by like that.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. But
I wouldn't. You're right.
the whole time that I did them 10 years, I never told myself that I was going to do 10 years. I was just like, I got to do 3 years. Because I knew I had to do 3 sets of threes.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, I got to do 3 years. I'd do them 3 years and be like, man, I got to do one more 3 year.
And that was just made it more manageable?
I guess so, yeah.
Because I know when I started serving in Anamosa, the prison here, or there, I said, so guys, tell me, what shouldn't I ask, when I come here? Because I don't want to upset anybody or offend anybody. They said, do not ask us how much time we have left, because that's just hard, the reminder of that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the way to handle that.
Guys in there, what I did was I stuck to a routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd get up in the morning, I'd work out. I'd get up at like 4:45. I'd do some burpees. They'd pop the doors about 6. 6 o'clock, they pop the doors. I'm going to go out, make some coffee, hang out, watch the news for like a half hour. They're going to call breakfast. I'm going to run to breakfast and come back right away. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to go out to the rec. This is like a regular yard where they have rec, right? I'm going to go out and rec. I'm going to play handball from like maybe 8 o'clock to like 10:30. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to wash up. I'm going to go eat lunch, come back, go back out and work out again. By the time 3 o'clock rolls around, my day's done. I go in, take a shower, read a little bit, go to bed, wake up, do it again next
You
morning.
didn't have a job?
Not for probably like, I don't know, 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then here comes your discharge date. What does that feel like? Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Here's your choices. Is it like, yay, I get out? Or is it like, oh boy, I'm getting out? Because, so often I see people come out of prison and they're going to do it this time. Darn it. It's going to be successful. They're going to stay clean. They're going to, and then slowly they just
I look at it like
go
this.
down the hill. And
So like about, probably 2 years ago right now, I'm constantly reading my Bible, and I'm thinking in my head, man, I got to talk to my brother Todd about my lifestyle and how I am now. I got to let him know now that, like, hey, bro, I love you, but I will love you from a distance, even though you're my brother.
Mm-hmm.
If you're partying and doing everything you're doing in life, that when I went to prison, we're not doing that no more. I'm too grown for it. So I call him, right? And the whole time I had been praying hard, like, listen, God, check this out. You know I've been pretty faithful to you in here. I've been your servant. I've been doing everything I can. So I know you probably expect me to ask you for a lot of things because I'm getting ready to get out soon. But I don't. All I ask is for a church and a support system.
Mm-hmm.
You give me them, and I'll do the rest. Don't worry about it. I'll get a job. I'll work. I'll help my community. I'll do the things I need to do in life. So I call my brother Todd, and I'm like, hey, bro, listen, man, I'm probably going to be getting out soon, so I want to find a church to go to, and I really, really would like for you to think about going to church sometime, Todd. And, he's like, what? Bro, I go to church. I'm like, yeah, right. He's like, I'm serious, bro. He's like, I go to Hope City in Waterloo. He's like, I've been going there for like a couple years, man. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, man, I believe in God and Jesus and all that, bro. Yeah. I'm like, he's like, you're going to love it. He's like, I'm so happy you want to go to church with me. I'm like, absolutely. So that first day I got out, I seen him, and he was like, we're going to church. That Sunday we went to church. And walking into Hope City, like, I remember thinking when I was in prison, like, I've been to a lot of churches, and you can go to a church and just feel tension in there sometimes, because people get used to it, and they're set in their ways about the type of character a person is, or tattoos and all that stuff. But when I walked into Hope City...
Stop. I want to record you saying this because I think it's a good plug for Hope City. Do you care if I do that?
Yeah, you can.
And you can go back a little bit if you want to, but I think that would be... So you don't have to look at me or anything, but... okay, go ahead.
Okay, so anyways... So I called my brother and told my brother, hey, I want to go to a church. I want you to go with me. My brother says, man, I go to church. I'm like, yeah, right. He said, I do, bro. I go to Hope City in Waterloo, High Street. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I've been going for a couple years now. Man, I was so happy. Truthfully, I didn't even know what to say. So I got out of prison. I seen him that day, and he says, hey, let's go to church. So Sunday, come around. We go to Hope City, and I'm not going to lie. I've been to some churches, Janice, and them churches just they're not where it's at, man. Some of them push you away, everything. When I walked into Hope City, I could feel the love, for real. It was weird. Like, I felt right at home as soon as I walked in there. Like, normally I would sit in the back. I went right to the front, and I sat there, and I prayed and prayed and prayed, and I cried, and I thought, man, God is good. He blessed me. I'm not even going to lie. I got blessed when it came there. Like, my whole support system, Joe, you, my brother, my mom. I got so many friends that stand beside me. Jason Bentley, Jeff Duell. There's so many of them that stand beside me, and they're always like, man, I'm so happy to see you happy finally. Because it's hard to explain, but you can be so messed up on drugs and having the best time of your life, right? But you can be in a room full of people and be the only one there. Does that make sense?
Be lonely.
Does that make sense? Like, you're by yourself. Like, you just know that nobody around you cares about nothing that you got going on, how much money you're worth. All they care about is getting high with you and doing drugs. And they're going to leave as soon as the drugs are gone, And Joe Bondi, I give a big shout out to him, because him and my cousin Garth, as soon as I got out of prison, I got a phone right away. They took me from Forest City, Arkansas to the bus stop. Dropped me and this other dude off named Matt from Michigan at the bus stop. They dropped us off at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and the bus wasn't going to be there till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
The bus stop where?
In Forest City, Arkansas. It's like this
That makes me nervous.
It's like this little sign. I think I might have a picture of it maybe on my phone. Maybe
Well, show me
I think I deleted it maybe, but It's this little sign on a telephone pole with nothing around it, and all it says is something bus stop for number such and such. They dropped us off, right? So we walk like a mile or two to the town and go there, and we go to Walmart and I buy a phone, and then we go to this cool restaurant and we eat there. So I get my phone and I open a Facebook right away because I don't really know if anybody's gonna answer my call. So
Do you even know how to use Facebook?
yeah, it was kind of weird, you know? So I was like, man, I get into it, and then I instantly get a friend request from my cousin Garth, so I open it, and then he calls me a messenger right away, my little cousin Garth does, right? And he's like, hey, what's up, bro? I'm like, nothing. He's like, look, man, he's like, listen, Brandon, he's like, I'm doing good out here. I don't get high, I don't do nothing. He's like, I don't hang out with other people. I want to give you the best shot I could give you. Yo, we got to go to church and all that. And I'm like, I'm in. Let's do it. So him and then Joe Bondi hit me up right away after I talked to my brother, Todd. And he told me too. I couldn't believe it. I about fell over because Joe was like, man, I've done so many drugs with Joe in my life and partied with him so much. Like, so many places, so much violence. Like, and when he told me he changed his life and gave his life to God and that he had a church. And then I was like, man, I was talking to my brother. He's like, listen, bro, no, man, I go to Hope City. I was like,
so
my brother does too. I was like, my brother does too, bro.
God was like, clearly placing you there, wasn't he?
So I got lucky in that sense. I got to the halfway.
Was that luck?
Huh?
Was that luck?
No, God bless me. I couldn't believe how much God blessed me for real though, because he knew. Like, I had like $785, I think, on my books when I left there. And I didn't have nothing. I was like, man, I need clothes. I need everything I can get. I need so much stuff. Mm-hmm. And then when I went to Walmart, and I was like, gosh, everything is expensive. 10 years ago, it wasn't expensive like that. Yeah. Like, I could get so much stuff for cheap, you know? And then Jason Bentley hit me up. Big shout out to Jason Bentley, man. He helped me out big time. He hit me up and was like, hey, what time are you going to be there? And I told him that I'd be at the halfway house at like 1. Man, he brought me down so much stuff, like clothes and hygiene and stuff. Then people just started showing up down there that I just couldn't even remember over the years. Like, I'd see them and know their face, but I just couldn't remember their name. Dropped me off like 3 pairs of shoes, a couple $100 in cash, colognes, all this stuff. And I got in there that first night, man, and I sat down on my bunk and I thought, God is really paving the way for me. So why would I turn back? I just don't see myself ever turning back to that life. When I left out of prison and I walked out of there, I just remember thinking, you're my past. That's it. It's over. Never again. Never again in my life. There's too much violence in federal prison. There's too many drugs. Like, I'm not lying that you can walk down the tier in federal prison and see like 4 or 5 dudes sitting in a cell smoking meth. The COs are sitting in the office doing nothing, making like $35, $40 an hour to sit with their feet up on their desk. So
I've also noticed, since you've been out, you've been kind of a little impatient with things. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you've been, I don't want to say complaining, but really concerned about certain things. And I have to wait till this, I have to wait till this, and I'm not going to get this till this. And then God
provides.
Just does his thing, doesn't he? And
every time.
I know. And so when you get frustrated or like, how is this going to work out? God is like, well, I shouldn't say this, but like, hold my beer, you know, like, watch me go.
Yeah.
It's been fun to see that in you.
I was talking to my cousin Garth the other day about this, and I said, hey, Garth, I said, you know what's crazy? Is I spent my whole life doing drugs, and I made a lot of money selling drugs. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I made lots of money selling drugs. And I never really accomplished nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might own something, and then I lose it because I go to prison or something because it's drug money. Like, it don't last. Since I've got out, God's given me a job. I make really good money. Plenty of clothes, food. He's given me everything I could ever imagine. Like a vehicle, a Harley. I've bought 3 vehicles. gave a couple away. Like, every time that I think about something, I think, man, I want this. It just pops up and it happens. So I'm saving right now. I'm going to get me a house. But
I know a good realtor.
I,
Me.
yeah,
Did you know I'm a realtor?
I do.
Okay, now you do.
I do. I'm definitely I'm gonna have you help me for sure,
joking.
Janice. No, I'm gonna have you help me because I want a certain style of house and a certain spot.
Yeah.
When you're around people all the time for 24/7, you don't ever have time to collect your thoughts. Mm-hmm. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
And then when you sit down to collect your thoughts, it's overwhelming on the things that you have to go and sort through because of everything that's happened in life.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so listen, let me tell you a couple stories real quick before we get done here. I want to tell you one time about I was in jail. All right.
Okay.
So I had been in Blackhawk County Jail with this dude. His name is Kenny Mervin. He's a pastor now in Tama County. I've known Kenny my whole life. We've done lots of drugs together. We've partied. We've done anything you can imagine together. And I'm in county jail and he's in there for a meth lab, right? And he gets out. He keeps telling me he's reading his Bible every day, right? And he keeps telling me, man, I'm really going to change my life, Brandon. I'm going to do this and that. I'm going to try it so much. Bonds out, comes back in the morning for another meth lab. 2 of them. In the state of Iowa, that's a 50-year sentence with like a 10 or 12-year mandatory, right? So he comes in there and he's sick for the first couple of days. And I'm like, dude, I can't believe you wasted all your time. This is back when I partied and didn't really care about God and Jesus and all that stuff. You know, I was like, you really wasted all your time reading that Bible and saying this and that. First day, buddy. You know what I mean? You got caught for another one. So we're in there for like 9 months and now he's really into the Bible. He's really bearing down and he's like, dude, I'm really going to get this. God moved in his life. God sent him not to prison, but sent him to this program out here where he became a pastor.
Oh, wow.
So anyways, I used to go to some Celebrate Recovery groups with him years ago out here at Don Cox's church on celebrations out here, right? So anyways, fast forward 2014, I'm drunk and I roll my mom's car out in the field in Tama County and I go to jail and I'm coming off drugs, right? And I'm bouncing up and down and I'm in this little county jail in Tama for like a week. But for a couple of days, I'm going crazy because I've been up for like a couple, 3-4 months just getting high and partying. Yeah. So my body is going through it, not being able to get high, right? So I say to the lady, I say, hey, you got somebody I can talk to? You got a pastor or something? She goes, yeah, we got a pastor. I said, who is it? She said, Kenny Mervin. I said, hey, please, man, please call him and tell him his nephew Brandon's down here. I need to talk to him, right? So I'm waiting and I'm crying my eyes out. I'm going through it, man. I can't stop crying. I'm really emotional. He comes in there and he sees me and he sits down and he just shakes his head and he's like, dude, like, what's going on, right? So I start telling him what's going on with me and stuff. And he starts to talk about God, right? And I'm like, listen, dude, I'm like, look at me. I'm strung out. I ain't got nothing going for me in life. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about it, bro. Like, I feel like God abandoned me. I'm not trying to hear nothing about this stuff, right? He's like, whatever. So he just goes on talking to me for a little while, right? It's time to go. And he's like, hey, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go. I'll talk to you later. And I'm like, hey, you coming back? And he's like, no. I'm like, no, what do you mean? He's like, listen, Brandon, God is my life. Like, that's what I talk about. That's what I do. So I come here to visit you, but you want to talk about everything you got going on in life, but you don't want to talk about nothing I got going on in life. So why would I want to come waste my time and talk to you? You're like my nephew, so I'm going to give it to you straight. You know what I mean? Look at you, bro. You look like crap. Like, you're tripping, you know? So I'm like, please. He's like, I'll tell you what, I'll come back if you let me pray for you. So I'm like, go ahead, man, pray, because I want you to come back. Because I'm real emotional, right? I'm bawling my eyes out. So he's like, put your hand on the glass. So I'm like, all right. I put my hand up there, right? And when he put his hand up there, like, literally, I could feel the Holy Spirit in my body right then. Like, it felt so crazy. It felt like somebody gave me a hug. Like my whole demeanor, he started praying and my whole demeanor changed instantly. I quit crying. Like I felt happy. And he was just like talking to God about how I am because he knows how I am. He's just like, look, man, he's messed up on drugs. He's doing this. Help him. So that was like the first time that I really, as I got older, that I experienced the Holy Spirit in my body. It was weird. So right then and there, it put me on point about God. I was in Tama County Jail.
What do you mean it put you on point about God?
Like, meaning that a lot of people in life can go through life thinking they know God.
Okay.
Okay? Like, you could talk to God all the time. And then when your life gets tough, you feel like God abandons you because you've never really, something holds you back from feeling his presence.
Okay.
So I went through a lot of years of knowing God, but not really knowing God because to me, I was just, my faith was there. Like I was there, but I was just like, hey, how you doing? You know, I've never seen or paid attention to nothing that you've done for me in life. Yeah. So I really don't know you. But when he calmed me instantly and it felt like somebody gave me a hug, I knew right then that he was there with me forever. Like he's been standing beside me the whole time.
And it's interesting that you blame God for experiencing the consequences of your own actions.
Absolutely.
Like, and sometimes, and I know for sure, God puts us in a hole to get our attention.
Well, the thing about it, it's a trained behavior.
Yeah.
You get so trained on looking at the negatives in your life that when you stop looking at the positives, they literally disappear from your life because you stop looking for them.
Yeah.
You just get so used to being codependent or whatever you would call it on just things in life that work. The TV, like you get so used to just being able to turn the TV on. If that TV wasn't there, you would still grab that remote to try to turn it on the first couple times because you'd be like, oh, I'm so natural trained to do it, you know?
Yeah. So what would you say to somebody in your spot? Like somebody who's over and over and over again is tired, you know? What would you say to them?
Okay, so I was in federal prison and they was asking me if I wanted to go to drug treatment. And I was like, yeah, I'll try it. I don't have nothing against it. Like, you might be able to teach me something that I don't know. But when I got in there, everybody in the unit was getting high and doing drugs. So I went to the lady and told her, hey, listen, man, I'm cool. I don't want to do your treatment. And she's like, are you sure? Like it's kind of required of you. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. She's like, can I ask you why? I said, because listen, I don't care about being the cool kid around here. Like, that doesn't matter to me no more. I don't have to be the cool kid no more. I'm not going to tag along to what other people got going on. I know what I want in life. I want better in my life. So I'm going to pave the way for myself instead of worrying about what other people think about it. Because if you start worrying about what people are going to think about you changing your life, it's going to hold you back from changing your life because you value the opinions of others. Everybody does it. It's just the way life is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I love it when I hear you say to me, Janice, Brandon, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so good. Like, it strokes my ego. It's bad that it's like that, but that's the way people's natural thing is because the world evolves, you know? Mm-hmm. So a person in my shoes that's been an addict my whole life, in and out of prisons and jails my whole life, the thing I would say to somebody is do not give up. Even the littlest things that would push you over, that pressure you to the point where you feel like you're going to break, it's nothing. Just tell God, hey, listen, this is what's going on with me. I'm feeling this type of way right now in life. Mm-hmm. And I promise you, God's going to provide. But not only is God going to provide, but you're going to become successful. You don't have to go 100 years of being clean and sober. You don't have to go 10 years of being clean and sober. If you will choose right now to be clean and sober for this minute will lead to the next, and that minute will lead to an hour.
Amen. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, time don't stop for nobody. It moves forward. So every second that you're sober, you're adding seconds to your sobriety.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? You got to want it. If you're doing it for your children, If you're doing it for your mother, if she's sick, you're doing it for your dad, your family, anybody, stop. Do it for yourself.
Did you ever think that you could quit? Or did you just think you'd be living like this forever?
Honestly, I seen my brother make a drastic change in his life when he turned like 38 to 40, right? And I thought, man, when I turn like 38 or 40, maybe that's when it's going to catch up to me that I should change. Because it was just my lifestyle.
And it's hard. I think people look at you and think, well, just stop. But that's like you said, your whole lifestyle. Everything that you had done from the time you were 10 or 12 years old, and now all of a sudden, stop. Go in a whole new direction. I think that's hard for people who are looking into to realize that you don't know anything else. You don't know anything else, and now all of a sudden you've got to do a 180 and do things differently, find new friends, respond differently to situations. When you would get angry and beat somebody up, now you got to offer grace. You know, I mean, it's a whole shift in things, and it's hard for people to see that.
It's tough at times. Mm-hmm. It really is. You see so many things around you change. Like when I used to call my mom all the time, I used to say, hey, Mom, what's new? And she'd say, Brandon, ain't nothing new in this town, blah, blah, blah. Everything's the same, right? But when you get out, like before I went to prison, there wasn't even a Chick-fil-A. I know, right? It's funny, but it's...
I can't imagine.
But just like, so everything around you changes so fast, you don't understand it. Mm-hmm. I was like thinking to myself, all them years ago, I'm serious, like, I was really going to bite the bullet because I was just sick of life. And I remember thinking to myself, there's got to be something different. There's got to be a key to life. Like, there has to be something where you yourself as a person can live in direct happiness for yourself. It don't have to be doing drugs and partying all the time and things. You have to find an intermediate to something that you really enjoy to replace things that you really enjoy. Mm-hmm. Some people do it by going to the gym all the time and working out like crazy. Me personally, I like helping people. I really do. Like, I did that food pantry that Corey has. I love doing that. You know what I mean? Big shout out to that guy. He's really doing it. He's out there handing out all that food and stuff. It made me happy. Doing drugs didn't lead to happiness in the end. Your happiness now is based right now. I used to walk miles in my cell, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and all I did was plan for my future about things that I want to do in life. Like, I want to build some 12-plex apartment buildings. I want to build some storage sheds. Like, I want to position some things in life so that, I hate to say it, but I'd like to change the direction of my family's stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it only takes one person. You might live in poverty your whole life, your whole family, your whole life for years and years and years and years and years. Now, one day, Janice decides to go to college. She goes to college, learns about real estate, becomes a realtor. She starts selling houses. In between you doing that, now you teach your children a good work ethic. You're able to provide for your family. You'll be able to give them the best of the best. And it will carry on because now your son and daughters will be like, hey, listen, Mom and Dad went to college. I want to follow in their footsteps. Not, hey, Mom and Dad used to drink all the time. Let's just get wasted and hit kegers. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
like a generational curse.
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree.
Drugs or whatever the thing is, it's like it carries on from generation to generation to generation. And at some point we can say to the enemy, no, thank you. You know, I rebuke you. Jesus has a better plan for my family, and it doesn't include you. But it takes work. It takes a shift. It takes people not believing in you, people thinking, oh, he'll never change. Oh, but God is all about that, isn't he?
All the time.
Just all about that. And I think of so many other guys that you've probably partied with that might hear this. Come on, man. You can't do this on your own. But if you come to our church and see all the lives that Jesus has changed and pulled out of that pit, you won't even know what to do with yourself.
Hey, Here's some truth though, for real, about our church. A lot of people get scared of God because they don't know how to hear it the very first time. So if you go to church one time, you're 9 out of 10 times, just being honest, it don't matter how good Pastor Q preaches, Drew, none of them. That first time that person goes there, they're too busy looking around to see who they know that is there. You know what I'm saying? So if they go to Hope City and they give it a full 4 straight weeks in a row, and at the end of that 4 weeks, they tell me that, nah, church ain't just for them, it just won't work for me. Like yeah, you know what I mean? Because we're family there.
Yeah.
That church really is a family. Like, they teach you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Sometimes in life, I just look around me and I see all these different styles. Like, I'll go to Walmart and I'll look at all these different lifestyles of people around me. And I'll think, like, this person might be over here paying with credit cards. This person might be over here paying with food stamps. Mm-hmm. There's so many different walks of life. But every person in that store has something to be grateful for. God has provided them with the breath of life today. Let them breathe. He provides them with food, shelter, everything you can imagine. I would have never thought that I would be so blessed coming out of prison. Like, really, honestly, I can sit here and say that most of my life I was a dirtbag. Like, I really was. I know it's funny to laugh, but, like, I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about hurting your feelings. I don't care about you as a person. I didn't care about nothing in life. So if you got involved in my way as I was moving forward to do something in life, drugs, whatever, I'm going to treat you bad. That's just how I was in life. Like, I'm a really nice guy to certain people, but the rest of them, I'm just a real dirtbag to. Once God put it in my heart that I should love people, I just look at everybody the same. I don't treat anybody bad. I treat everybody how I want to be treated. I smile every day, because the shortest distance between two people is a smile. You don't know what a smile is going to bring to you.
Right.
Telling people, God bless you. Like, I go into stores with all my tattoos and people look at me and then I'll be like, hey, God bless you. They have a wonderful day. And they're like, yeah,
He's going to stab me.
Yeah, God bless you too. And it's funny that it's like that,
It is funny. Thankfully, tattoos are more common now.
Yeah,
but
it's funny
you just turned some heads a few years ago. What you got on under your chin?
It says blessed right there.
Blessed? Ooh,
Yeah.
I bet that hurt. Oh,
Yeah.
I bet that one on your neck was...
Yeah, I got this blessed, the Sacred Heart, and then the 2 doves on my neck from my grandparents.
Oh, my.
Yeah, my grandparents passed away, both of them, when I was in prison, so...
Well, I know I've said this a million times to you before, but you are a blessing, and I am so, so proud of you. You have a countenance about you. You just look peaceful and joyful. I haven't seen you have a bad day. I see on your face.
I definitely have bad days.
We do have bad days, but it doesn't jam you up. Because you've seen God's faithfulness even while you were in the facility, and you couldn't wait to get out, and you couldn't wait to drive to Tama to get your license. And, you have had to walk a road that you didn't want to walk. You were kind of ready to go right when you got out of prison, and you didn't want to have to follow the rules.
Yeah.
But you did it, Brandon.
It was tough.
I know it was tough, but you know what? You did it because of the Holy Spirit
Absolutely.
living in you, and you are a motivation. Don't stop sharing your story, because you're going to be a life changer. Your story is going to change lives.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to pray us out, if that's okay.
That's cool.
God, again, Brandon, I don't know. I just love him. He is a good man, Father. And I love how you use our messy stories, our mistakes, and all the things that we're ashamed of and regret, and how you bring us around to the other side. And we give you all the glory, because we can't do anything without you, Father. Father, I pray for the people that might be listening, maybe some of old Brandon's old friends he used to use, who just are unsettled in the life that they're living right now, that this might just be a peek into what their life could be. Call those people to you, Lord. Reach out to Brandon, and just allow Brandon's story to make a huge difference in this world. He is impactful for your kingdom. In Jesus' name, I praise you and I glorify you. Amen.
Amen. Hey, can I say one more thing?
Sure. I don't know if this will make it, but go ahead.
Okay. If somebody is out there listening and they're going through some things in life, It don't matter what it is. Just talk to God. I'm telling you right now that I talk to God probably 1,000 times a day. I'm sure he's like, man, I'm tired of this guy. But put it all on the line. It don't matter. You're living for you. Enjoy your life. Smile. Praise God at all times. Be thankful for what you have in the mornings. Don't worry about your bills. As soon as you wake up in the morning, first thing you need to do is look around you and be thankful for what you have. Smile, love your family, and enjoy life. Thank you.
You're the best.